The Hungarian-Romanian War was fought between the Hungarian Soviet Republic and the Kingdom of Romania from November 1918 until March 1920, with the main military operations ending in August 1919. At the end of 1918, the final year of World War I, the collapse of Austria-Hungary led to the declaration of Union of Transylvania with Romania. The Romanians wanted to ensure the success of their territorial demands in the coming peace conference and to help the national aspirations of the Transylvanian Romanians. The Crown Council in Bucharest decided in favor of an attack, and in April 1919 the Romanians launched a powerful offensive along the entire Hungarian-Romanian demarcation line, which was set according to the Belgrade Armistice of 1918. The Paris Conference decisions of moving forward the Hungarian-Romanian demarcation line was unacceptable to the Hungarian government, which resigned. The Bolsheviks took power and wanted to make good on the promise to protect Hungary's borders, withstanding the Entente's further demand of territorial concessions. During the war, the Hungarian Red Army also fought against troops from Czechoslovakia, though not simultaneously with the Romanians, and Yugoslavian forces occupied Hungary up to Ps. In the war's first phase, the Romanian army advanced against light resistance up to the western Carpathian Mountains. In the second phase they overcame the Hungarian Red Army to reach the Tisza River. Finally, in the third phase, they defeated the Hungarian army and occupied Budapest, ousting the communist regime of Bekutelekun. Background: Hungary. In 1918 the Austro-Hungarian monarchy collapsed as a result of losing World War I. On October 31, 1918, the success of the Asta Revolution in Budapest brought the left-liberal Count Mihaly Károly, an Entente devotee, to power as Prime Minister. He yielded to Woodrow Wilson's pacifism by ordering the full disarmament of the Hungarian army and proclaimed the advent of the First Republic, of which he was president. On 13 November 1918 in Belgrade, Károly signed an armistice with the Entente, setting up demarcation lines for the territory that was to remain under Hungarian control until definitive frontiers would be established. By the terms of the armistice, Serbian and French troops advanced from the south, taking control of the entire Banat and Croatia. At the same time, Czechoslovakia took control of Upper Hungary and of Carpathian Ruthenia, and Romanian troops were allowed to advance to the Mureș River. However, the demarcation lines were not to hold for long, the Serbians occupying Ps as soon as November 14. The armistice limited the size of the Hungarian army to 6 infantry and 2 cavalry divisions. By February 1919 the Károly government had lost all popular support, having failed on domestic and military fronts. On March 21, after the Entente military representative demanded more and more territorial concessions from Hungary, Károly turned over the government to the Socialist Party of Hungary, a coalition of Social Democrats and Communists. Although Károly believed he was handing power to the Social Democrats, it was the Communists, led by Bekutelekun, who were actually in control. The new government proclaimed the Hungarian Soviet Republic and promised equality and social justice. The Hungarian Soviet government proposed that Hungary be restructured as a federation. The proposal was intended to appeal to both domestic and foreign opinion. Domestic considerations included maintaining the territorial integrity and economic unity of the former Crown lands, and protecting the nation's borders via a patriotic war. The government had popular support, especially from the army. Most of the officers of the Hungarian army originated from areas that had been forcibly occupied by states bordering Hungary, and this circumstance heightened its patriotic mood. In light of President Wilson's doctrine of self-determination of peoples, The proposed federation was also intended to appeal to foreign opinion as a solution to the country's multi-ethnic composition. The dominance of Hungary's Magyars would be lessened by allowing self-government and self-directed institutions for the non-Magyar peoples of Hungary. The Communists, or Reds, came to power largely thanks to being the only group with an organized fighting force, and to their promising that Hungary would defend its territory without conscription. Initially, most soldiers of Hungary's Red Army were armed factory workers from Budapest. Later the Hungarian Red Army became a truly national army, the ranks of which were motivated by patriotism rather than ideology. Romania. In 1916, Romania entered World War I on the side of the Entente, with the main goal of uniting all territories with a Romanian national majority into one state. In 1918, after the Communists took power in Russia and signed a separate peace in the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk with the Central Powers, Romania was left alone on the Entente's eastern front, a situation that far surpassed its military capabilities. Therefore, it sued for peace, and reached an understanding with the Central Powers in May 1918 in the Treaty of Bucharest. Alexandru Margaloman signed the Treaty of Bucharest with the Central Powers on May 7, 1918. However, this treaty was never signed by King Ferdinand. The situation in Romania at the end of 1918 was dire. Romania was suffering from the consequences of the punitive war reparations imposed by the Central Powers. Dobruja was under Bulgarian occupation and a large German army under the command of Field Marshal August von Mackensen was retreating through the country. The bulk of the Romanian army was demobilized, leaving only 4 full-strength divisions, while further 8 divisions were at peacetime strength. With these troops, the army had to keep the order and protect Bessarabia from hostile actions of the Soviet Union, for which purpose it used the 4 battle-able divisions, while at the same time counter the Bulgarian presence in Dobruja and supervise the retreating German forces. On 10 November 1918, taking advantage of the Central Powers' precarious situation, Romania re-entered the war on the side of the Entente with the same objectives as in 1916. King Ferdinand called for the mobilization of the Romanian army and ordered it to attack over the Carpathian Mountains into Transylvania. The end of World War I that followed very soon did not bring the end of fighting for the Romanian army. The fighting continued later that year and into 1919 during the Hungarian-Romanian War. Outline of the war. The war is divided here into 3 phases, mirroring the main operations of the Romanian army. In the war's first phase, the Romanian army advanced up to the western Carpathian Mountains. In the second phase, after the Communists took power in Hungary, the Romanian army overcame the Hungarian Red Army to reach the Tisza River. Finally, in the third phase, the Romanian army destroyed the Hungarian army and occupied Budapest, ousting the communist regime of Bekyutele-Kun. Phase 1. November 1918 – March 1919. Following the Treaty of Bucharest, the bulk of the Romanian army was demobilized. Only the 9th and the 10th Infantry Divisions and the 1st and the 2nd Cavalry Divisions were available at wartime strength, but they were used at the time to protect Bessarabia from the attacks of the Russian Reds. The 1st, 7th and 8th Vanatory Divisions, stationed in Moldavia, were the first units mobilized under these circumstances. The 8th was sent to Bukovina and the other 2 divisions were sent to Transylvania. On November 13, 1918, the 7th Division was the first Romanian army unit to enter Transylvania at Prizacani, in the eastern Carpathians, followed at Palanca by the 1st. On December 1, 1918, the Romanian ethnics of Transylvania proclaimed the union with Romania, being supported by the Transylvanian Saxons and the Banat Swabians, but not by the Hungarian ethnics of Transylvania that wanted to be part of the newly emerging Hungarian state. In December 1918, Romanian army units reached the line of the Mureș River, which was the demarcation line agreed upon by the representatives of the Entente and of Hungary in Belgrade on November 13, 1918. At the same time, units of the German army, under the command of Marshal von Mackensen, retreated westward, following a Romanian request. The Allied command in the east under the leadership of the French General Franchet d'Espery allowed the Romanian army to advance up to the line of the Western Carpathians. The 7th Vanitorii Division advanced in the direction of Cluj, and the 1st in the direction of Alba Iulia. On December 24, units of the Romanian army entered Cluj. By January 22, 1919, the Romanian army controlled the entire territory up to this demarcation line. At this point, the Romanian army in Transylvania was stretched thin, having to simultaneously deter the Hungarian army and maintain order in the territories under its control. Hence, the Romanian High Command decided to send 2 more divisions into Transylvania, the 2nd Vanitorii Division to Sibiu, and the 6th Infantry Division to Brasov. A unified command of the Romanian army in Transylvania was also established, with the headquarters at Sibiu. General Traian Mosoiu was put in charge of this command. Romania started organizing the territory it had taken, which at this point was far from encompassing the ethnic Romanian population in the region. 2 new infantry divisions, the 16th and the 18th, were organized from Romanian soldiers previously mobilized in the Austro-Hungarian army. On February 28, the Allied Council decided to notify Hungary of the new demarcation line to which the Romanian army would advance. This line coincided with the railways connecting the cities of Satu Mare, Oradea and Arad. However, the Romanian army was not allowed to enter these cities. A demilitarized zone was to be created, stretching from there up to 5 kilometers beyond the border, marking the extent of the Romanian territorial requests on Hungary. The retreat of the Hungarian army behind the westward border of the demilitarized zone was to begin on March 22, 1919. The notification reached Hungary on March 19 through French Lieutenant Colonel Fernand Vix. The Karaly government resigned rather than accepting the notification, and on March 21 gave control to Bercut Kun, who instituted a communist regime in Hungary. Within this period of time, only limited skirmishes took place between the Romanian and Hungarian troops, and on one occasion between Romanian and Ukrainian troops. Some Hungarian elements engaged in the harassment of the Romanian population outside the area controlled by the Romanian army.